when you're ready, brother.
I'm ready.
You can just hit your headphones if you want. If not, it's
Where,
cool.
is that it?
No, this one's right across from you.
They're working?
And then the mic is cool. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to me said the number one internet reggae show right now on Bogart Men Radio. From hip hop to jam rock with your boy Dan Dada, bringing you the very best of hip hop reggae music from Mzanzi to the Caribbean and back again. Now, if you haven't guessed it today, I'm sitting with a very special guest, a multi-award winning artist, a man known around the continent for holding it down, amazing in the game of hip hop, business himself, Boss Brain Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's my man. He goes by the name of Yinks. Yinks, how you doing, my lion?
Doing good, Dan Dada, original Dan Dada.
It's good to have you in the studio, brother.
Hey, man, good to see you too. It's been a long time, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has been a long time. Now, you know, so much has been going down, but for the fans that are out here in South Africa, they may not know who you are, what you're about. Can you give us a quick breakdown about who is Yinks? Where did your love for the game begin?
Right, Yinks is a hip hop rapper, songwriter, aspiring philanthropist, and also an entrepreneur. The music began, you know, way back from high school, and then feathered it up to the university level, and you know, moved to South Africa and started grinding, and you know, yeah, with time we grew in the game, you know. So yeah.
I like that, my lion. You've been pushing for a while out there, holding it down. I mean, hip-hop music is a game that's really something different in South Africa compared to what it is in the West Ave and everything. How is it making hip-hop music in Ghana compared to South Africa? Could you give us a quick breakdown of that?
Okay, I think the difference is this. South Africa has a market for hip-hop, you know. The radio promotes hip-hop, the media promotes hip-hop, but in Ghana, they promote more of Afro beats and reggae and dancehall, you know. But the streets, the youth, they love hip-hop, you know. I think they listen to it themselves, but the media promotes more dancehall and more Afrobeat, right?
I see what you're saying, and it's quite true. I mean, from Ghana, we've got some amazing dancehall reggae acts that have really catapulted across the not just the continent but the world. So it's crazy what's going on out there with the music scene. Do you think that there's enough of the collaboration and the building together in the African continent between the different nations? Because I mean, for example, South Africa has DSTV and all of these outlets, and you guys have your own outlets and you have your own market. Are we working together to access all of these different things, or how is it working like with South Africa?
You know, you know, it's good that you really asked this question, because I actually called my my DSTV service agent long ago, and I was like, hey, I'm only seeing Nigerian content on my DSTV. I need to see, like, when I was in South Africa, I was seeing, like, you know, music from Nigeria, Ghana, but why is it that, you know, I'm only seeing content from Nigeria, you know? So I feel like DSTV was set up to serve the whole continent, but I think they've tried to decentralize it, you know, in terms of the music genres and countries, and you know, you don't really get to see a lot of music from South Africa on DSTV in Ghana, you know. But I think it should be one, you know. They shouldn't decentralize it. They should centralize it so that the music coming out can you know, relate to everyone. You can see South African music, Nigerian music, Ghana music, Zimbabwe, all of that one time, you know. But other than that, I feel like in terms of I also feel like there isn't much collaboration between the South and the West, you know, even though Davido has been doing more. But I feel like it could be better. You know, we should see more South African Ghanaian artists collaborating, more Nigerian artists and South Africans collaborating, and you know, together we can, you know, take Africa to the top.
I feel you, and I agree with you 100%. I mean, you look at the little bit of collaborations that we had, and immediately what jumps to mind is Burna Boy, aka Fela and Versace, and look at the impact that it had.
That was a big record.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that if we had to work together, it would make for a much more bigger impact. Number one, and number two, it would make for a more powerful music market in Africa. I think it would give us a bigger platform, because now we're talking about marketing our music to way more people than just single nations. If you get me.
I mean that's how it's supposed to be, because right now the U.S. market is beginning to embrace music from Africa, you know, and I think the more we become united, the more we are able to keep penetrating into their territories and their markets, which is the biggest music markets in the world, you know. So I feel like African artists, we should keep, working together and keep sharing ideas, and let's make this happen globally.
100%. Now, I mean, you're a man that has, accomplished a lot in your career, as we say, multiple awards. I mean, you've grinded. How has the road been? I mean, a lot of people, when they look at all of the accolades, they some people would assume that, it's a long road. Some people would think to themselves, you woke up yesterday, and you know what I'm saying? So how was the road for you?
Yeah, I mean, like they say, until we tell you what has been happening behind doors, you might think everything was just smooth. But it's not like that. You work hard, you fail, you try to get back up, and you keep going. But it's not easy, because this music thing really requires a lot of money. And if you don't psych yourself to put in some money, it will be difficult for you to make it. And money doesn't come easy these days, so when you also have it and you're sacrificing it for something you might not see results immediately, it's painful. But if you have goals and you know where you are going, I mean, you sacrifice without thinking of benefiting immediately.
That's
so
true.
It's been a long road, man. It's been tough, but we're still going.
That's true. And just looking at your playlist, you've got a lot of features that I can speak of. I mean, you've got Easy Prince, you've got Mickey Monarch, Lucan, you've got so many people that you've worked with. What has your experience has been working with them? Because I know the sounds are all not the same. Is it easy to adapt as a writer and artist?
It's not really easy, because when you work with artists from different parts of the world, they all have different types of they all have different ways and how they work, so sometimes you have to adjust or compromise, to make a lot of things work, So for example, with the Colo music featuring Easy Prince, I had to get him all the way from Nigeria to come to Ghana, and that was very inconvenient because his passport was at some embassy. He was trying to get a visa, and I begged him that, please, I need you now, and he had to go get his passport and come to Ghana for us to shoot the video, which is still pending, coming soon, the editing. So it's always, but the final product is always good.
And I mean, you put a lot of effort into not just creating good music, but you want visuals that accompany it. Do you think that it's important that artists do that in this new world of music? I mean, way back it was all about the song. Now it's a new world.
You see, like you said, way back was all about the song, because there were different forms of marketing, and physical ways of advertising were more impactful than digital, because back then we weren't in the digital world. So, you could just release an audio, and then they'll be selling it physically. They'll put your posters, your pictures around, which made it more easier for people to see you. But now we're in a digital world where people just want to go on their phone and see things. So it means that visuals are very important. The audio is not enough. They can hear the music, it's good music, but they don't know who is the artist. So visuals are important, but that's also the most expensive part of the business.
That's very true. That's very true. And I mean, when you look into the visuals, then comes image that goes with the visuals, dressing and all of this, and seeing that we're with Bogart, man, I gotta ask you, what is your take when it comes to style, fashion, pattern, when it comes to the videos and just in life in general?
Shout out to Bogart Radio. I see you guys have a lot of designers around here.
Yes, sir.
But music is fashion, and even if you are not into fashion, once you get into the music business, you start getting to love being fashionable, because then it's part of your image and branding. and how you look and how you market yourself. So, the music can never go without fashion.
True talk.
You understand? So, yeah,
Oh,
fashion is everything.
let's get into a little bit of that competitive spirit. There's a lot of competition that we hear about going on with Nigeria, Ghana, whether it's football, whether it's with food, and I want to talk about with the music. You know what I'm saying? How are you feeling about it?
Honestly, a lot of Ghanaians always say that in quote. They always say that Afrobeat what originated from Ghanaian high life music.
Okay.
And of which is true because of the sounds and melodies and
Mm-hmm.
but Nigeria has a bigger force. They have a population of over 200 million.
Yes, they do.
And I mean, we are just around maybe 30 to 40 million, and
Yeah.
so they overpower us in terms
Yeah.
of population. But Ghanaians have talent. Ghanaians have a lot of quality things going on, and because of that, we are able to compete with them.
I see.
And I mean, it's all fun. We love each other. I don't want to
Of
lie about
course.
it. Ghana and Nigeria will always be on. We have a lot of Nigerians
Brothers
living in
and
Ghana
sisters,
now.
yeah.
So, but we throw each other all the time.
Yes, sir.
The trolling goes on.
Always. And I was gonna ask you who wins the Jollofi war.
I would say Ghana always wins.
I know, I knew it already. I was gonna join you anyway. Ghana wins. Yeah.
Ghana Jollof is the best. They know
Nice,
that.
nice. But Nigeria, I like what they do. I was watching an interview earlier today, and someone had said something interesting. They say sometimes when it comes to Nigeria and with the music, a lot of genres, maybe people say they didn't create it, but what they did do is they took it and they elevated it. And I think the guy was talking about Amapiano at the time, because also with South Africa, it's the Amapiano battle right now. So it's quite interesting, and I think that, do you think there'll come a time when we get not regional sounds of Africa, but an African sound for the whole continent?
I think when it comes to music, right? The music is always evolving, and there's always new genres, and you don't know where that type of genre is going to come from.
True.
Whether it's coming from Kenya or Tanzania or But one thing I also like about Nigerians is that they are the big brothers of Africa in terms of population, and they stream music a lot. So
100%.
let's say if they were able to help, they made Amapiano big in Ghana. Nigerians made it bigger because we didn't know about it, and Ghanaians really struggle to embrace new music. But at a point in time, wherever I go, I hear South African music, and I'm like, okay, now something is going on.
Nice.
And it's all because when Nigerians jump on board, they have that force to push the sound. And so once they push it, everybody gets to know about Amapiano. It's one of the hottest genres
right now.
Yeah, it's big in West Africa.
Big up. And I love that because, when you look at it, there's a Damian Marley song where he's talking about, if you take the United States and you look at it in the African version, Miami, in Johannesburg, and so on and so forth, I think it could really create quite an interesting energy and industry if we had to all put our minds together, because as you say, Nigeria's marketing and the way that they get behind the movement is unmatchable. They're filling up stadiums with Nigerian artists in New York City, Madison Square Garden, and then London as well. So I think it's something that we should really latch on to. Do you see the rest of Africa getting into that form, filling up those type of venues, or creating our own venues and musical economy that could bring people from overseas to come and fill up these places?
Look, I think it's possible, especially South Africa. South Africa has all the media power to make a lot of things happen for its artists.
Yes, sir.
What I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I feel like more could be done, because then when you look at the resources the South African industry has, Nigeria really don't even have it.
Yes.
You understand? All the major labels are here. So it starts from the major
and
labels.
the outlets,
Yes.
you've got television,
Exactly. All that DSTV, all the TV media outlets are also out there. So I think it all starts from the labels to me. If the labels here could start saying that we're gonna sign South African artists or artists from other part of Africa and export them globally, and not make their deal only concentrate on African territory. of which I think most of the labels that's what they do. They give you an African territory deal, so their focus is more in Africa. But if they can export African talents, overseas, just like they give Nasty international deals and other artists, I think you see South African artists going global and filling a lot of arenas because there's so much talent in South Africa. Like, it's not even a joke.
And across the whole continent,
Because some people listen to my album back home and they're like, "What? Is this person from America?" I say, "No, South Africa," and they can't believe it. You understand? So I think it starts from the label, it starts from the media. They need to export talent from South Africa to the world. The resources are there, because the Nigerians are doing it.
Yeah.
So the labels here, they must get out of their comfort zone and start, paying for international features.
100%.
Get your artists out the box.
And I mean, when you look at Nigerian music as well, I mean, not just the music that's driving it forward, but Nollywood, because when you make a movie and you place in music into this movie, you're giving it access to a lot of people that perhaps would not have listened to it because it's not my genre or whatever, but because I like the movie, you're watching it. So you're producing your own movies, you're producing your own music. It's also being backed by the support of the major radio stations and so on, because they're playing local, the clubs are playing local, so everything is conducive to the growth of your art form. And I feel that in a lot of the other African countries, it's not really so equal, perhaps, because perhaps you're creating music, but if you go to the clubs, they're not really playing so much local stuff, or radio's not playing local stuff, or if they are, also the television and so on is dominated by international stuff. It's not your local content. So do you think that maybe that could be the starting point, is getting everybody first to buy into the idea of local, of Africa being the local content, and that it's nice and it's equal or better than what you could find out there?
You see, in reference to what you're saying, I think recently something went down in Ghana, and it was just trending on social media, where some of our local artists, local stars, they said that they feel the media in Ghana should play more Ghanaian music. Because they felt that Ghanaian music was being overshadowed by Nigerian music. And I think they didn't say it from a bad perspective. They were just being patriotic and just saying that, listen, at least if you're gonna play their music, play our music too. As well. They're not saying play more these more, but at least give more room for Ghanaian talent. And it's true, because when you go to Nigeria, they play more Nigerian music, and that's how come their artists become popular. And at a point in time, even South Africa passed the law that more local content should be. It's good. It favors the artists, and it puts your brand out there. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good way to go now. Because I mean, there are so many countries that there are a lot of talent, but you can't hear of them because the radio there don't even promote them.
100%. And I mean, the great example that I like to give to younger artists is always that when you go to America, what type of music do you think they're listening to? American local.
Music. You never hear anybody in America playing music from Ghana.
Exactly. They listening to their own stuff. Music. Turn on TV, you're watching Americans.
Americans first.
And so I think that we need to first have appreciation for our music, and then once we can appreciate it, we'll learn how to market it better.
And join forces with other people.
100%.
And make it happen.
100%. So now the future of Boss Brain, you've been working and you've been doing so many things. I mean, you got features, videos, so much that's coming out. What is the next move? What is the next release? What can we keep an eye out on?
Okay. So, initially the Boss Brain movement, I was doing more, I was providing entertainment consultancy services. But in the process, I decided to release my album 3000 CD. And I had to drop the consultancy part because it was taking a toll on me. So I released the album in Ghana, did a launch, did some media appearances, shot a music video out of it. Now I'm on my career plan. We're supposed to do an all Africa tour.
Nice.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna start from South Africa, and then from South Africa I'll do some activities, some interviews, some videos. And then when I'm back home, my next trip is Kenya. know.
Yeah.
So it's like that. I'm trying to do an Africa tour now.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
beautiful.
with my project. Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy because I don't think I've heard of an African artist, especially in the modern days. I
Right.
think perhaps
Right.
the Fela Kutis in them, but an African tour, that's gonna be amazing.
Right.
How many nations do you have planned?
I have about I think I'm targeting nations or countries that I feel have a good music market, you know. But I mean, all the Southern African countries are part of it.
Nice.
And, you know, Liberia, Angola, Kenya, Zambia, you know, those countries. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to take it step by step to show up.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
massive.
Even if
massive.
I do 2 or 3 interviews in each country, your presence will be felt. You know,
True.
your content will be out there.
True.
Yeah.
Now talking a little bit about the album 3000 CE, where does the name come from? I mean, a beautiful cover, by the way. I'm loving
Right,
the way it's
right.
put together.
Right. Okay. 3000 CE is basically the year 3000. You know.
Yes, sir.
I wanted something strange, something unique for the album. I don't want something simple, so I thought about it. I said, okay, 3000 C, the year 3000. Okay, then I thought about how does it relate to the album. I said, okay, I'm going to do it basically means that all the songs on the album is still going to be here by the year 3000.
Nice.
You know, so it's just something simple, but yeah, 2000 C is just the year 3000.
Oh man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and I love the concept, trying to take them into the future.
Right.
That's where we need to be
Right.
at with it. Now,
Right.
if you had to choose your favorite singles off of the album, or let me say 3 favorite songs, what would it be?
I like songs. In fact, I like most of the songs on the album.
Yes, sir.
But I love songs like Kolo. You know, it's good. It's my first Afrobeat sound that I jumped on.
Okay.
I like Wipe My Eyes. I like what do you call it? Ambitious. I like Balenciaga, which is good. I also like. I have a lot of good songs. I can say I like all of them.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I love that. Now, when it comes to the creating process, how do you go about writing a song?
Oh, with me, I normally want to have the beat
Yeah.
and sit on it for about a week or 2
Mm-hmm.
because I want whatever I write to make sense, you
Mm.
know. So I take it line by line, stanza by stanza, and you know I get a record when I'm ready to record it. See, when I get to the booth, I just record it. Within 5 minutes, I'm done.
Nice.
I don't take time because I already, you know, practiced it.
You've got it on lock.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, nice. That reminds me of something I read about LL Cool J. He used
Right.
to do a similar style like that. If you had to give some advice to a young artist coming up and say, look, they're saying, I'm about to write my single, what would your advice be to them?
Oh, I'll always be like, most important thing is make sure the music is good,
Mm-hmm.
the beat is good, it's quality, you know, never compromise quality, you know, respect your fellow artists, show love to your fellow artists because then it helps them to also review your work and show you love back. Love your fans, love the people around you, and be willing to put in money and spend money.
As it goes, as it goes. It's a beautiful piece of advice that
Right.
you're giving, and I hope to the young artists listening that they follow on with that. Now, I mean, we've got 3000 C, it's out
Right.
now.
Right.
You're planning the All Africa tour.
Right.
That's an amazing thing that's
Right.
going down.
Right.
Is there anything else like performances or anything that people may be able to catch you also in the midst of all of this activity?
Yes. Like right now, when I go to Cape Town, I might have a show or 2.
Nice.
My agent is working on it, and I'm supposed to have a show tonight in Tembisa.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm still monitoring the situation how it goes.
Mm.
So in the midst of all these activities here and there, I'm also trying to perform.
Nice.
You know, yeah.
Beautiful. And you have to be active as an artist to keep
That
the
is
name
it,
growing.
you know, the more the work you put in, the more the fans follow.
Mm.
So
Now, when you look at like marketing and getting your work out there, pushing the work, because I mean, I always say to artists, creating the song and then writing all of that's beautiful, but that's like, let's say 30% of the job. And then you've now got to market it. Now, marketing is going to be another like 40, 50% of that. Now, How do you go about marketing your music? What do you think is the most effective way to capture an audience with your music?
Okay. Over the years, I've believed in paid ads.
Okay.
It's one of the most effective ways to market your music.
Yeah.
Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram. But Facebook is more effective in terms of ads than Instagram. You get more results.
I see you.
So right now, I'm trying to take it to a different level. I was at Boomplay all the time in Ghana. I was in the office.
Yeah.
And I was trying to learn more about their playlisting, because they have big playlists.
Yeah.
So I picked to them, and they gave me a quotation. They do have advertising, packages.
Nice.
So I'm definitely gonna also go for one of that,
That's
just to
beautiful.
get the music out there. I've done inquiries on televisions in Ghana. They also gave me quote, and they're ready to, get it going. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about now using major channels to promote the music. Social media is not enough right now. So you have to, use the whole playlist and Spotify ads. Now they got ads. So that's what it is. Yeah.
I see you out there, and it's true. Social media it's important and it is an aspect, but it's not the only way to get the music out there.
Right.
There's so many people that
So
are
many.
releasing right now. You have to really make yourself stand out. Now, after all of this is said and done, album is out, we're pushing nicely,
Right.
it's going forward.
Right.
What is next for the big man himself? Are you looking at bringing on any artists into Boss Brain Entertainment, or what is the next move?
Okay, I literally have two female artists under management that I'm managing.
Nice.
Yes, so I think that the next thing I'm doing is to also focus on their projects, and help them to also elevate. And yeah, I think I look forward in working with more artists.
Beautiful,
Right.
beautiful. And working with female artists, is it important to you to develop female talent or to give them some space in the industry? A lot of artists, they really, and especially male artists, they really don't give much room to the females to bloom and blossom. And it's nice to hear that you're doing that. Is it an important aspect of what you're doing?
It's surprising because if you study the game well, you realize that the females have more advantage than men. And this is what a lot of labels or stables don't see. It's easier to market a female, than a male.
True.
Because males have this ego of not supporting one another.
Yeah.
But males don't mind supporting females.
Of
in what
course.
they do.
Yeah.
So it's actually the opposite of how we think, but trust me, it's the best artist to push is female. It's easy to push them.
That's very true.
To me.
And I like what you're doing there, man, because we need more women that have people that are willing to stand behind them, invest in their dream, and take them further. Beyond also the female artists, do you do any work within communities, outreaches, or anything to help the underprivileged or so on?
Okay, so I have a foundation, and this tour I'm trying to do, I call it 3000 CE Feeds the World Tour.
Beautiful.
So the idea behind it is that every country we go, we're going to do donations to orphanages or donations of food to street kids and
Love
all of
that.
that. So it's something I'm looking forward to doing it before I'm out of the country. It's part of the project. So yeah, it's one of the things that every country we go, we need to do some charitable works and stuff.
Love it, love it. And if people want to get a hold of you, they want to get your music, listen to it, how can they go about getting the new sounds?
Okay, no, just go on all digital platforms, and search for Yinks 3000 CE. It'll pop out, and you can stream all the music from there. You
Nice.
can find me on Instagram, Yinks Official, Facebook Yinks, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Right.
And last question, obviously, word of advice to the youths out there that are perhaps going through a hard time, hard space, something motivational just to uplift them.
Nothing is impossible. All negative opinions don't matter until you make it matter. Mind your business,
Yes, sir.
stay in your lane,
Yes, sir.
love people, and network with people,
Fire.
and you grow.
Fire. Thank you so much for your time, Yinks.
Yeah, brother. brother. Nice to see you, man.
Great
It's
to
been
see
like
you, bro.
5-6 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a minute, but we're always in touch. You know
Right,
what I'm
we
saying?
always in touch. That's why the internet is there.
Yes,
It's,
sir.
it's always good to connect. And yeah,
Yes, sir. Blessed love.
I
And we,
appreciate, man. I appreciate for having me here, Bogart Radio. I think this is so it's so fancy here, beautiful here. Like the interior, the setup. This is massive, man.
mad love, brother.
It's massive.
And myself and as Bogart Man Radio, we wish you the very best with everything you're
appreciate
doing. It's
I
massive.
appreciate it.
The album, beautiful.
Right.
We want to see the African tour
Right.
work. We hope everything
I hope
you
it
push
works. Everything works well.
Mad
By the
love.
grace of God.
as it does, as it does. Blessed love to all the listeners out there. We're gonna get back into some music by Yinks, and the next song I'm gonna play you is entitled Ambitious. So sit back, turn up your radio, me say turn up your system, and enjoy.